which is Turner versus Driver Supreme Court ruling. We have every right to record our government officials, and that's what we're doing. Our government officials is not just here on this first floor. It's the second floor, it's the third floor, and the fourth floor, and the fifth floor. See, what does it say?
This is all public, so we can go to the third floor. And it says the central files are in the basement, and that's public. Yes, ma'am. Okay, if you have an appointment with somebody. No, that sign doesn't say public. An appointment. That sign says public interest. Okay, well, anybody who comes all of these offices right here are public. Okay, from my experience working here, okay, anybody who comes over here, they check in the desk, they make a phone call upstairs, they get authorization to go up. They get a little public badge but they got an appointment to go up. This is a public building. But you guys still get an appointment, and you got to go through security to get upstairs. And I realize that you have a job to do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right? And I feel like you're not being completely honest with us, saying that we're not allowed up there, when we absolutely are. Because every one of those offices are public. Yes, but you also have an appointment to go upstairs because you got to go through security. That's not what it says. That's not what it says in the Constitution. Okay, well, you take it up somewhere else, somebody else. We're going to go to the second floor. No, ma'am. You're not allowed. Are we going to get arrested? Because I'm willing to put handcuffs on, to take the handcuffs, to go to the second floor. What point are you trying to prove it? I have business.
Checking on our government officials.
Okay, listen to me. I have business to conduct. That has nothing. You have to make an appointment. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. I don't have to make an appointment. Everybody who checks in that desk right there you have to check in with security first. And unless you have your name to the authorization upstairs, no, you can't just walk freely up. I'm telling you the truth. Policies do not change the Constitution. With this building, yes, it does. No, it doesn't. I don't know what kind of building you think you're running, but the people run this business, this building, not you. The taxpayers pay for this. I'm a taxpayer. I'm going on the second floor. No, ma'am, unless you have an appointment. Ma'am, don't touch me. Ma'am. Ma'am, it says check in at security, and then it says go on. That's what that sign says. We're on that everywhere. Did you forget what that sign says? Go read it. Okay, what sign you seen that says you can just freely walk through? The black sign with the white letters. Okay, state badge will be visible. What other ones are you reading? The black sign with white letters. Must proceed to the guard desk. Proceed to the security desk. Proceed to the guard desk. Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Proceed to the guard desk to check in to get authorization to go upstairs. So let's go. No, you have to proceed to the guard desk. Talk to them. Ask them. This is a security officer right here. I need to go to the second floor.
You cannot go to the second floor unless you call someone. Someone has to come down.
Public building paid for by taxpayer dollars.
If you know somebody on the second floor, you can call up there. I'll call them for you. I'll make you a badge.
I don't need to call up there.
Well, you're not going there, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Why do I need to know everybody
All
that
I know,
works
if
here?
you want to go upstairs again, if you want to go upstairs, you have to contact someone, sweetie. And once you contact them, I call them down. Well, I'm sorry.
Is allowed to be in their public.
Ma'am, do you know anybody on the second floor you want to talk to?
It
Okay, well,
matter.
have a good day.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. It's all good. It's all good.
are we gonna be allowed to tour our public building or no?
You cannot have pass this point, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because you have to have an appointment to go above.
You don't need an appointment.
Yes, ma'am. It says see the
to
front
public
desk, but if
building.
that's denies you, then you cannot go above.
Yeah, there's nothing anywhere that says you need an appointment to be here.
Okay.
So I guess we're at an impasse. So you better call a boss bigger than you. 'Cause
I'm calling my
obviously-
supervisor.
Yeah,
I'm calling my supervisor. He's coming.
okay.
The security was nice.
Y'all really need to leave. Y'all can't be.
I have to work a lot and I have to be able to do my business. And you won't allow, no, it's not. You don't get to tell me what my business is. You don't get to tell me what my business is. Respectfully, you don't get to
You
do
really
that.
don't have no business up here tonight.
You have no idea what my business is. If I'd have been allowed up there, I would be gone by now. Well, I'm staying right here.
It's not gonna happen.
Until I commit a crime, I'm staying right here.
It's all good with me.
I suggest you go home because you're on cameras everywhere.
I'm getting ready to show you.
Quiet, be quiet. Listen to your peeps. Be quiet, you're about to get a lawsuit.
Susan,
Huh?
This fool right here is just shaking away. Shaking, shaking, shaking.
Sounds good.
So, what's the word?
What's the word?
So, I'm Sergeant Osborne, DPS Chris. Look, y'all are welcome to be here right now, okay? What y'all are doing whenever I came in was fine, okay? If someone such as a guard or an employee says y'all need to leave, that's where we can step in. But until that
We
happens,
don't have to leave unless we are
Is-
committing a crime.
is 1463.3 remaining at the forbidden, okay? That is
In a public
included.
building?
Yes, that is correct.
But-
Because the manager is going
Okay,
to say.
I'm gonna let you talk.
That's
I've
fine.
got some good stuff for you.
Okay, cool. Okay. So if someone for this building that's employed, that's a manager, or someone that works in security, says, y'all need to leave, and they're just asking, hey, can y'all please leave? Then it needs to be abided by, okay?
I have
Okay,
business
that will be,
Okay.
that
Just
will.
because they don't like us here, doesn't mean they get to kick us out.
Okay,
You're not
Oh.
the feelings police.
okay,
We are not breaking the law.
okay,
We're just practicing our constitutionally protected activity.
okay. So if you have business, you are welcome to check in
I
with the
do
guard.
have business.
Okay, then we're gonna allow you to check in so that you can get your, do your business with, this building, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
And what is checking in,
You would
pertain-
check in with the security over here. You can let them know what it is that you need.
Okay, you have to have a contact person, sir. You have to have a contact person in this building. Like, she might, like, this paper here for the second floor, she'll say, have to say, I get to see Donald King, Larry Johnson.
Okay.
Until then, if she can't tell me who she needs to see, I can't let her.
Okay, now let's go ahead. I haven't said nothing. Let's go ahead and throw some case law in here. Turner versus Driver says that our 5th district, which is Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas 5th district, that we are allowed to record our government officials in the course of their duty. Us being here recording y'all is our official business, being here, and we have every right to do that.
Okay, well,
So as long as we're not breaking the law, we can't be trespassed from public property. You're right about private property. If the owner from private property says we have to leave, but as long as we're on public property and we're not committing no crime and we have a constitutional protected activity going on here, we can't be trespassed from public property unless we do something wrong. We're not interfering with business. We haven't engaged with anybody. We're here simply recording. We wanted to go to the 2nd floor. And as far as the signing in goes, that goes against the 4th Amendment. The 4th Amendment says that we are secure in our papers, persons, and effects. We don't have to sign in and give our name to be in our own building. And this is Turner versus Driver. This is Supreme Court ruling. This is what we're here to see if the officers, which is, what's your badge number?
6461.
6461. But we cannot be trespassed from public property. That's like me walking down the street and you don't like me walking down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden you walk up to me on the sidewalk saying, I can't be there. It's the same thing as being in a public building. You can't just go trespass people. Now, if I'm on that public sidewalk doing something wrong, then you can have me leave that area because either I'm committing an offense or doing something wrong. But simply walking down the sidewalk or being in a public building, which is Turner versus Driver, Supreme Court ruling, we have every right to record our government officials. And that's what we're doing. Our government officials is not just here on this 1st floor. It's the 2nd floor, it's the 3rd floor, and the 4th floor, and the 5th floor. You know what I mean?
All the way up to the 9th.
Okay.
Right.
Do you have someone that you can speak to? Do you know a name?
No, I'm giving you Supreme Court ruling right now, which is Turner versus Driver. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But she said that she needed to go to the 2nd floor.
Right, and we want to go up there and make sure our government officials are doing what they're supposed to be doing up there as well.
Which government official?
It's the child support or the child welfare. Yeah. It doesn't really matter, but we're allowed to record our government officials.
Trying to help, so we
I was listening to the situation and everything like that, but you know what I mean? Turner versus Driver covers what we're doing. The 1st Amendment covers what we're doing. We don't have to sign in at a desk. We don't have to give our name, which is the 4th Amendment, to be in our own building that we pay taxes for. And I guarantee we pay taxes here. So at this point, so you're saying that we cannot go up to the 2nd floor to go film?
You're not allowed to go to the 2nd floor at this time.
Not allowed to go up to the 2nd floor.
Okay.
So you're restricting us from this public building, correct?
Correct.
All right. That's
And
what I needed on
restricting
camera.
us from the public building is,
I'm sorry?
the reason you're restricting us from a public building is?
Because you're not checking in with our security guard over here.
Right. Which boils back down to the
Okay.
4th Amendment.
All right.
You know what I mean? We don't,
Okay.
to be in our public buildings, we don't have to give, we might as well just, give up our driver's license and all that stuff. But the 4th Amendment gives us the right to be secure in our papers, persons, and effects. And that's what we're here to see too, see if y'all are violating people's rights or, letting them do what they're allowed to do. You know what I mean? Because our business here is recording our government officials,
Okay.
which falls under Turner versus Driver, which we can record our government officials. She clearly knows that. You clearly know that. Our government officials are up there too.
Okay.
I mean, we have a right to be free press to come in to check on our government no matter what. And to be on a different level, on a different floor. I mean, if we're allowed to be here, this is public property, just like it is up there. So it's saying that we can do it down here and then saying that we can't do it up there is a restriction of our rights.
So for the safety of the employees, we have where you have to check in, or you have to have a badge if you're employed with this office, okay? That's just for the safety for them.
Right. But we got cameras, and we have a right to record our government
That's
officials.
fine.
Cameras don't do anything except for a career killer.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We peacefully protest.
Yes, sir.
We go in.
appreciate it.
Right. So, and like I said, we didn't interfere with anybody. We just went around filming. We got approached. So if there's any interference, it's from them to us. You know what I mean? But we do like getting it. You know what I mean? And you probably this place will probably receive some phone calls because people are standing up for their rights and people
That's
have a right to be up there.
Whenever I walked in, y'all were all good. I saw you filming right there. I saw her right there. Okay.
Right. Well, I was listening, to the situation and seeing, what I can address whenever the issue came up. You know what I mean? And everything that I'm quoting is case law. It's Supreme Court rulings. It's the Constitution. And we're not only doing this for us. We're doing this for your kids, your grandkids, your grandkids. And if we keep on giving up our freedoms to where we can't do what we want as free human beings, y'all's kids are going to be doing the suffering just as well as everybody else that lost their rights today.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, it's easy to say yes, sir, and all that stuff, but deep down, you know it's there.
But I'm still listening to you.
Right, of course, right. And, I'm not getting hostile. I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to educate, and that's
Yeah,
what we do.
I
We
appreciate it.
educate,
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean? And if we keep on losing our freedoms, y'all think it's a joke. Y'all are not special privilege to this government either. When the government takes everybody down, they're going to take y'all down too. You know what I mean? And we're trying to stand up for people's rights. But the simple, the main thing right now is if we're allowed to film right here with these people that are they feel unsafe, they're walking by us right here. Nothing's happened to them. It'd be the same thing if we happen to walk up to the second or third floor or fifth floor or whatever. It's the same situation right here as it is up there. And, we don't have to give up our Fourth Amendment to walk in our public buildings. That's
We're not looking for private information or anything.
right.
Like
We want
that.
we want to make
wanna
sure everybody's
see
doing
where
their
our
jobs
tax
right.
dollars are going.
Right.
Okay.
But clearly, you're not going to let us up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you say it's a safety issue, but cameras don't hurt nobody.
If you have anyone that you know that you can call and set up a.
We should, but see that we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to know that. We shouldn't have to do all that. We should be able to go in and record our government officials. Right. But that's extra stuff. You know what I mean? And the whole thing of an audit.
Sure.
You know what we're doing? The whole thing of an audit is if you look up the definition of audit, it is a surprise audit on a building. Your government officials, McDonald's managers do it. They just walk in the stores. You know what I mean? They go in and it's a surprise. You know what I mean? If we walk up there and, they have paperwork out all on the desk, just like y'all are putting all that papers and stuff like that, that's public information. We can do FOIA requests to get all of that stuff that you told her that she couldn't record. Yes, we can. We can get all that. And we can get all that.
As long as you're not going,
Yeah.
as long as you're not going behind the desk or trying to go anywhere over here, you're more than welcome to stay in this area.
Right. But what's the difference between here and up there? Can you tell me what the difference of that stuff?
And it's for employees only. Mm-hmm. Or if you have,
it's not employees only. If I did have an appointment to be here, would I be able to go up?
But that's if you have a meeting with someone. If you've called and you said,
but
hey,
it's publicly accessible, is what I'm trying to say. Public. We're trying to get public and private down here. That's public property. You know what I mean? So, but clearly you're not going to let us in. You know what I mean? And people want to see how the government's doing and stuff like that. And like I said, it's well established. Turner versus Driver that we're allowed to record our government officials in their capacity, even though security for a different company. She's now contracted under the government, being paid by the government to work here. You know what I mean? So
being paid for by people like us, we pay for your salary.
But we show everything. You know what I mean? And at this point, it is a standstill. Apparently we're not going to be able to go up to the upstairs or anything like that. And but at the same time, our constitutional rights gives us the right to go record all of our government officials, which is Turner versus Driver, which is 5th District, which is Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi. Other ones have got different ones. There's Smith versus Cummings and all those other ones. So, but yeah, we're at a standstill. But we're going to see. We have to be able to push to see what we're allowed to do as free human beings. But apparently, we're not free human beings. We can't roam around the buildings that we pay tax dollars to pay. If none of us were paying taxes, like everybody quit working tomorrow, none of y'all would have a job. None of y'all would have a job. And we, as free human beings, we should be able to walk and record our government officials. So, I'm not going to sit here and repeat it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's either you're going to let us or you're not. You know what I mean? So, but at this point, you're not. I got you on the other night. You were at a traffic stop. Yeah, I seen you the other night. That was me that walked up that night too. So, but yeah, y'all did a great job out there that night too. By the way, yeah, he wanted me to stand back, and he just asked nicely and everything like that. And I told him, we have a right to stand out there. It's the same thing. Us being able to stand out there on public property, we should be able to stand upstairs, which is public property as well. Because we're losing our freedoms, man. We're losing our freedoms. We keep on losing them like this. We ain't gonna have no freedoms. Pretty soon they're gonna tell us when we're allowed to come outside, when we're allowed to eat, and when we're allowed to grab food. And that's the way it's being, because that lockdown's coming again too, and you know it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, the lockdown's coming again, but the American people are standing up. They're not gonna want to wear masks and stuff like that and everything like that. So sorry, you know that. We're losing our rights. And this is just one of those other restrictions that we have to go against and we have to protest against. Because if nobody's out here doing it, all y'all's kids are going to never have freedoms when they get older. You know what I mean? So name and badge. I'm going to go and get everybody's name real quick.
I'm rolling 2 L's.
2 L's?
Yeah, because people do it with 1 L and 6720.
That's your star? Okay.
Security.
Susan Knighton, River Security.
All right, sir.
I don't have to answer no questions.
You work for the government,
I don't have to answer no questions. That's what she told me, so I'm at my rights too. My
but you're under color of law. Color of law puts it under a different perspective.
And you still won't get it.
I already got
Well,
it.
since we got everything done, would y'all mind leaving now?
And it's see, we were going to nicely, but when you try to push us,
Who trying to push it?
you asked us to leave. We don't have to leave. He clearly says that.
No.
Right. We could clearly be down here and relax.
Was I nice about it? Like,
No, I said, but you're asking. I said you asked us to leave.
okay.
I did say that. I said you asked us to leave. It's all I'm recording. Is you did ask us to leave, but whenever you tried to make us leave, that's when we're going to say no. We can stay here because clearly we're allowed to be here and we're allowed to record as long as we're not breaking no law that that statute that you brought up is for somebody's committing a crime too. It's in the statute, but we're allowed to be in here and record all day long, and we as long as we're not disrupting business, standing in people's way or any of that, so we're allowed to be in here.
Y'all don't understand. Y'all do. You ain't no good. Okay, y'all ready? We good? Okay, you on this way? Okay.
Have her on camera.
We went and dropped paperwork off at y'all's office too. I don't know if you heard about us dropping that paperwork off.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want to get in there and we want to explain this stuff. We're trying to educate because, there's a lot of officers, they violate people's rights and they don't even realize they're violating people's rights because that's just how they're trained to do it. The lieutenants and sergeants every day in the briefing, hey, make sure to get everybody's ID in the vehicles. Make sure you ID everybody. But in reality, it's a Fourth Amendment violation. Somebody has to be committing a crime, which in Louisiana is 215.1 Section A says you have to be about to commit a crime, have committed a crime, or in the process of committing a crime in order to get somebody's ID in the state of Louisiana. That's 215.1 Section A. So, revived statute. So
See, that should apply here because if we're not committing a crime, there shouldn't be any reason why we have to sign away
Right.
the Fourth Amendment.
Correct.
Just to visit the second floor.
Right. And it's a government building. We're allowed to move freely in our government buildings, but apparently, that's just not going to happen. But I'm not to be the person to judge. I'm going to let other people do the judging on the situation that's happened today. So I'm just here. I'm free press, which is the First Amendment. First Amendment, you got freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom to assemble, and freedom to petition your government, like we're doing right now.
Right.
That's all covered under the First Amendment, and that cannot be converted to any kind of crime whatsoever, of course. So, all right.
Make sure, guys, you do not call the Department of Children and Family Services. Don't call.
All right, we're not going to be able to be up to the second floor, people. Clearly a government building. See, that's why there was nothing wrong with that. All of that's public information.